And welcome back, curling fans, to the 2024 Everest Canadian Senior Curling Championships. We are at the wonderful Moncton Curling Club in Moncton, New Brunswick. And I'm Dan Holowaychuk, and I'm joined with Olympic gold medalist and three-time Masters champion, going for number 4, Penny Shantz. How's that?
Yeah, thanks, Dan. We have a great game this afternoon. We've got BC playing PEI. I guess it's morning back in BC, and I'm sure there's lots of BC fans watching this team. Diane Gushalak is the skip. Grace McInnes is the third. Danielle Shaughnessy is the second. Corey Atchison is the lead. And they have a coach, Allison McInnes. The PEI ladies are skipped by Shelley Bradley, well known in the curling world. Susan McInnes at third, Tricia McGregor at second, and Julie Scales at lead. They also have a coach, so I think this is the first game that we've had 2 coaches.
Good coaches, head-to-head matchup, coast-to-coast game here. We'll see which way the tide goes.
Right. Their coaches, Philip, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, Gorviet,
I would go with, but we'll have to check that one. We do once again have a full slate, 8 games going on this draw. We'll have one more full slate draw tonight going on at 6 p.m. Atlantic time. We'll be providing you with some updates across the board. If you want to check those on your own, you can go to curling.ca/scoreboard, where you can get all the current scores and the standings, and you can check on the draws to the button. And when we talk about that, BC did win the draw to the button, and they have the hammer here in the first end.
Both teams were pretty good on the draw to the button, their last stone draw. The BC team, I think they pinned one, and were pretty close to that on the second one.
Yeah.
Whereas the other team was back 4, and they almost pinned their second one.
Right, so draw weight early in the draw to the button, so I think they're feeling a little bit comfortable with the draw weight.
Mine's getting really good. Mine's great. Very nice sweep. Nice
We got
throw.
BC coming around a little bit of a corner guard that PEI put up there. Goes to the back of the house. And looks like we're getting this game going right off the hop here with PEI attempting a freeze onto
That's
one
great.
of the back.
I'm not sure that PEI really wanted to put up that corner guard with their first shot. Over-curled on him a little bit, but gave Diane the opportunity to come in there.
And so Julie Scales going to try to freeze around the back one here. She can get it buried around there, and
Well, that's swinging.
that's probably, yeah, they're getting to move it pretty good this way. So the guard over-curled, that one over-curled. So Diane coming around the Yellowstone PEIs.
They must both be out of the rings. She'd be hitting it if it was.
Or she's using it for cover.
Mine's good, lots of room. Higher's better.
T-line.
Starting to curl very slowly.
Got lots of handle deck.
You keep it above the tee.
It's got lots of handles. Back
So Corey
Right
Atchison's
back.
last stone,
Right back.
first end.
A
little bit of room around the center guard.
Gotta be back.
But finishing up nicely in behind the tee line, which will give PEI opportunity to come down, breeze on
Freeze
that
to
one.
it. Right.
Right in.
A little bit deep.
T-line.
Not bad for the first end, though.
Yeah, she would have liked to stay on top of the tee line. So we've got a lot of rocks in play right off the hop here, so hopefully the trend will continue.
Seconds first rock. This is Tricia McGregor.
Coming there now.
Yeah, she's got this one well out on the other side of that 4-foot line.
Really good.
They'll be finishing up hard.
Keep going. Keep going hard. 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 All you got. All you got. Top 4, baby.
And it's going to get over the center line, so not buried, but
Okay. Good throw.
tight enough in that guard. It makes the takeout a little bit tough where you might jam your own back one. So
9-8.
they're going to give it a go.
Danielle Shaughnessy, second on Team BC.
Hard! Hard, Grace!
And they got to go hard on this one to get it by the guard.
Right to it!
It's tight, and they just ticked the guard, but they did get enough of that one.
Okay, fine.
And a little fortunate that it did get into the other red, or unfortunate.
Did open it up a little bit anyway, so
See all that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get rid of that. You roll over here. It's good. 10. Just 10.
we did see a little bit of swing right along that center line on our previous game. Alberta team got caught on that a few times. They were able to hold it,
Shelly, hard.
but there was curl.
All the way. Hard.
Yeah, and if you notice down there, you see Susan McInnes calling the game, and it'll be Shelley Bradley throwing the last rock. So they took out their own and opened it up. A little bit of an advantage back to BC here.
Actually, just hit it. Hit and roll. Same weight. That's nice weight.
So Deanne wanting to hit and roll, maybe under the guard here. Doesn't want to leave her the pocket or an easier double. Trying to spread them wide and try to get her deuce that way.
Yes. Hard. Right to it, Grace. Hard, hard, hard. Hard. Little roll,
She's
Grace.
going to have the roll.
Little. Great throw.
Nice shot.
nice shot.
Nice shot. Very flat, very difficult double.
Okay.
So Susan McInnes is going to hit and roll towards that red on the outside of the rings. Definitely wanting to stick around here, make BC have to make a hit and stay as well, possibly jam into their own.
Well, if she does hit and roll over underneath that corner guard, it does give BC an opportunity to use that for backing.
Yeah, this one's curling up pretty good. It's not going to be rolling under the guard for sure. So rolling open, splitting the house. So BC can hit and roll outward on this one and have the house well split apart. They're looking pretty good for an early deuce.
And I would think that that's what Diane would want in the first end. Start your game off with a big 2 on the scoreboard and
2 with hammer, yep.
Clean, yep. Clean. Room's down. Clean. Yep. Yep. Yes. Hard. Hard, hard, hard. Hard, hard, hard.
Grace McInnes is the third on BC.
Tell her it's my fault. My fault. Threw it good.
That's it. Okay, well, got a couple undercover, which potentially puts 3 into play, as opposed to maybe splitting the house for your deuce. So if PEI can squeak one around the corner here and attach one onto one of those reds, they can get themselves out of a little bit of trouble.
We were just discussing the thirds on both teams are McInnes's. It's felt a little different, but
Yeah, we'll have to try to keep that straight.
Grace and Susan. Susan is on PEI.
And this is Susan's rock.
Like it's there. It's there on its
Yeah,
own.
they got a fair bit of room here, but they do have 2 that they can try to freeze onto.
Finish it. Right to it.
It's looking pretty good.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
Shot.
So shot rock, but did bump it so that it could be tapped again to still sit 2. But Diane is
The same as
straight drawing around.
Those are set up pretty nice there at the back of the house.
Yeah, so she's
got her corner guard.
ignoring the shot stone here and just trying to get shot stone around the corner to keep her 3 in play.
Lots of curl. It's got a curl. Mine's really good. Where are ya?
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Yeah, the sweepers are saying that they need
Mine's
it for
really
weight.
good. Fighting 8.
They figure they're going to get it to the 8 foot.
Hard,
Little
hard,
light.
hard. You got it. You got it.
Oh,
Keep
she got
going.
it.
Yeah.
Stay on it.
Good call by the
Keep it
sweepers.
going.
What a judgment call. That's
Go, 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 go.
perfectly top 8 where they said it was. So enough for shot stone.
She's got to make a decision here. Am I going to hit this, or am I going to try and come around it part way?
Yeah, I think, you know, there's a hit and roll the other way and maybe get the double, but there is also the jam risk in the back. So
Yeah, I think that that's pretty safe for number 2, right?
Well, it's number 3.
It's out count now. That's 1, this
Oh, yes.
2.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah.
Going to try and come around it. It does move pretty good once it crosses that center line.
yeah, and this is Shelley's first draw here. She could have played the attempted double hit, but she's going to try to put a little bit of pressure on. Come around, and if she does make it around, there's lots of rocks for this one to be jammed into and maybe take any of those red stones out of play from counting.
Shelley Bradley has played in the Scotties Tournament of Hearts 9 years. She was in it with PEI, and she's also she's a PEI senior champion for the last 3 years. So she's got lots of experience coming into this.
Yeah, she's very familiar with the pressure shots the skip has to take on. She's got room, and she's got
heavy,
some
maybe.
weight. Yeah, the sweeper swept a little bit early. Had the room. It does hang on in the back, but it won't be, it'll be like 4th shot, so it didn't really help her much. Now Diane is going back to the other side for her deuce. Not trying to come around and tap that yellow and maybe put 3 into play.
And that red one on the right side there is already sitting shot, so there's no point in just tapping it back a bit.
What do you guys think for weight?
What are you thinking?
I'm not sure because I think the clocks are not matching.
Yeah, I think a 45 will be right in the range.
So she doesn't want to take this one to the tee line so that, that Shelley can't hit and roll into that pile underneath there. And I don't think that Shelley would be freezing this if it's in the back 8 foot on the wide side. She may just hit it and
I would think so, right?
Early in the game.
Diane Gushalak.
It's your rock, Danielle, right now. Danielle?
Another veteran skip that we have out here. Lots of competition experience.
She won the bronze medal with this team last year in Vernon, BC. So she's looking for a gold here. First year, Diana and Grace both curled with, I was on the team, and we played for Marianne Arsenal out of BC, and we won the silver.
I wasn't sure it was going to happen.
Last
So
year,
bronze,
Diane's-
silver, and hoping for the gold.
Now she wants the gold.
She wants one of each color. So nice shot there. Sitting 2, and that's a long roll for PEI to make to try to, I guess, force a tougher shot here.
This can stay a little straighter down here.
Yeah, any kind of outward motion with some weight, these have been running.
10.
And, you know, if Shelley wants to get across the house here, she's going to want that extra weight.
Just clean. Jolie. Yeah.
And I think she's just kind of content with a nose hit and force Diane to make a hit and stay out there. And that's
nice
exactly
shot.
what's happened. So
Has Diane got a double there?
she does have the double if she does want to try to go for 3.
Line that up.
Let's see if she even mentions that at all, because it
Actually, she
looks
played
like
it
about a
anyway.
nice little more than a half a rock double.
So keep it pretty firm. So when I lead this,
So they didn't mention it at all. So I think
No.
she's just happy for her deuce.
she's
Hit
doing
and stay.
9-1 down here. So keep it like 9-ish. If
Oh,
it
that's
does
a
go
lot
up,
of weight.
we
We
can
haven't
try
seen that
cross.
kind of weight. She's wanting
No,
to throw a 9.
Normal up, normal. And if you were playing the double, you would want to have a lot of weight to get it to go all the way across the house here. So,
I don't think with that weight, it's not going to come up.
and
though.
that amount of ice, yeah.
That's a nose hit.
which is what they called.
Easy 9.
Easy 9.
A good, nice, clean release.
Across the step a little bit.
This should come up for her.
It should with that.
Yeah, she's
Good.
yep.
Keep going, keep going.
And the nose hit. And a couple of reds counters. They're not going to have to measure that other one. So 2 for BC in the books here in the first end. And we have BC2 PEI with the hammer in the second end, and we'll come back for that action. Thank you.
Curling means so much to our family. Obviously, it's a big part of our life.
Weight's good.
Isabella always says that she wants to be an Olympic champion curler when she grows up, which just melts my heart. But it also has shown them that if you work hard, anything is possible. If I was to ask them if they wanted to chase a dream, they believe that anything is possible as long as they put the work in, and it's because of watching us on the ice.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
It takes passion and a whole lot of dedication to meet Cavendish Farms' high standards. To become an epic late-night snack. Part of the ultimate breakfast. And the dinner crew crowd pleaser. From Canada's favorite French fries to onion rings, hash browns, and potato tots, Canadians can count on Cavendish Farms to serve top quality every time. Cavendish Farms. Made our way, enjoyed your way.
And welcome back to the Everest Senior Curling Championships. Our feature game with Prince Edward Island against BC ladies.
Okay, Julie.
Diane Gushalak's team secured their deuce in the first end, and we now have PEI with the hammer in the second end. Starting off, Diane putting her first rock in the rings, and corner guard attempt by PEI slides into the house, so we've got some play happening in the house, Penny.
And you really want to get those corner guards when they're called, because this is what happens. Well, I guess she's rolling out here, but it gives the BC team an opportunity to lie two in there, and they've got control of the house again.
Yeah, and BC will be okay to play it open. PEI will be taking a little bit more chances. Calling for another corner guard here. Julie Scales with her second attempt.
Okay, lot more
Put something
line
in the
this
free
time.
guard zone area.
BC had played Alberta last night in an exciting game. They were tied up coming home, and Alberta was able to secure the win. But it was a replay of the bronze medal game last year in Vernon, BC, where BC had won the game.
Yeah, so maybe a rubber match coming up later on this week in the playoffs.
High 3.
We'll see how both these teams make
What's your
out.
number for this?
Successful attempt
20. Yeah.
made by Julie there for her corner guard, just past the Everest logo. Now Diane,
Has asked Danielle to throw up a guard.
87.
Line's good.
wanting this tight to the rings, making it come around freeze a little tougher, and one that she can potentially use to raise into the rings later.
Corey, be ready.
Line's good for right on top.
Up just a couple, still wanting to try to steal a point.
It's gonna over curl. It's gonna over curl. Okay, it's pretty close.
And I don't think she'll be too upset coming in the rings there. Does leave PEI a chance for a double and roll under the corner, which is exactly what Susan's indicated. So
You want to go this way?
Doesn't matter.
this is a comfort level of turn.
10? Yeah, Julie. Hard, Julie.
And she indicated that she
Right up.
didn't
Okay,
care
whoa,
which turn she was going to throw.
whoa.
Yeah.
Do you have a turn that you like, Dan?
Shelly.
On
More
those,
than others?
on those shots, typically I'd be with an intern to try to roll, like
Yeah.
control the curl, not trying to go across the face as opposed to maybe coming into it. She did kind of jam that and put BC's rock behind their corner. It's not behind the tee line, so if they come around there, they're going to want to, tough corner freeze or a little tap freeze on that one coming up later in the end, maybe.
Let her know what's up, Corey. Let her know what's up.
They're on this one early.
But she does have quite a bit of weight, so I think she'll be okay.
They want to hold that one in the rings.
Good shot, Danielle.
Yeah, and they do. Yeah, so there we go. She's going to little tap or come around freeze. It's a call.
Try and use that opportunity with that rock and the corner guard that's up there.
We'll see how this busts early in the game with some good fresh pebble out there still, as opposed to maybe a little later in the game where they seem to be carving a little harder.
She's a lefty, so
Right.
her rock might curl a little different than a right person.
A little different angle coming at you.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, looks like she's got all the weight.
She's got good rotation.
She's got plenty of line.
No, Julie.
And that's exactly what the skipper called for.
It's a nice
Shot rock.
Are we shot?
So nice stone there.
Yeah.
Just enough for shot. Hit it on the correct side. Didn't let it over curl.
10.
And if you pick it out, 9-8.
Diane just trying to pick this stone out of there without disturbing her back stone.
Yep. Yeah.
She can see about a half of the rock. She doesn't need to hit all that she can see. This one looks like it's cutting over to the guard.
Hard. Roll that over.
But she does open it wide up now,
Right over, right on top of that one.
so they can chip it out of there either way. And rolls for a guard on her, one in the top 12. And it's a very tight guard, so if PEI does bury around those two reds, there's a fairly easy double tap straight back onto it. So
I like this call.
Yeah.
Dan, she's going to guard that rock again.
yeah, and I think maybe because those two rocks are close, if she does go around them, she knows that it's a fairly easy shot for Shelley if she hits it on the nose. Protect the one that she's got for a little bit here, and she can go for her deuce later in the end. We are down to third rocks, but there's still a lot of granite to come.
And these ladies are playing fast. They're not going to have I don't think they're going to have a time problem at all. They're
No.
in the hack. They're ready to throw.
And even between ends, they
ends,
put
they
the
were
rocks in
throwing
the
it.
corner, and then they're coming.
They didn't want their time. No, not yet.
Well, you got a couple of veteran callers of the game back there, so if it's all kind of textbook stuff, they know exactly where they're going.
And you really want to save that time for when you need it, when you want to have those discussions and you don't want to take a timeout. You're only allowed one timeout.
Yeah, and typically, the front end guys you'll see they're ready to go in the hack, and they don't burn up much of the time. The skips will, in the back end, will take a little more time either discussing or setting themselves.
Hard in the corner. Hard.
They're trying to hit just a little piece of this. They got to make it cut over, and they didn't.
Close.
One tight and one little wide, and
it's game on.
yeah. So looking like this could be pretty good end here for Shelley. She can top this one a little bit, leave a little bit of Rock's Christmas tree maybe underneath, making a double unavailable. This is Susan's last rock.
Coming there now.
Yeah, it should start taking its move. Here it comes. It's coming there really well.
Gotta go for line. Gotta go for line.
They say they're losing line here a little bit, so they must be over curling, but I think you'd want to get that in there.
Yeah, they
Curl it.
They could have been sweeping that one. They do end up with a nice little Christmas tree,
That is a Christmas tree.
and they're not going to be able to get the double. And
I feel like for time here.
they didn't show a whole bunch of this shot rock.
Quicker,
So
15-5.
Diane's playing something a little quieter, trying to get some movement. So just trying to freeze the corner this one. Not much to draw to there to try to get shot rock.
That was great.
If she makes it, it's a great shot. And I watched Diane a few weeks ago. She qualified in BC to go to the Ladies Provincial. She won the Kamloops Bonspiel, and she was amazing. She was playing great. She's playing confident. She's strong.
Well, and you can see she's like not an easy shot here. Not a lot of area to throw this rock into. Like she's got about a 1 foot square. She's trying to put this one in.
Right to it.
Your rock. No, never my rock.
Line's really good.
And I don't think, Danielle, you're in front.
No bounce.
So this is really finishing up hard on them. They get by. They might have left it a little bit too long. It does come on the top one.
Okay, so she's sitting one. She's got to have a piece of the 4 foot almost to be sitting her two, right?
Yeah. And if you just heard her, she doesn't want to leave her the double. That red one can also be used as a catcher. That red one now poses as a guard. That there's no tap on that yellow or PEI. So once again, you got to put this in a pretty good spot so you don't leave Shelley the opportunity to hit and roll underneath all those ones that you won't be able to get to.
Got to be right on tee or back. Back wouldn't be bad either.
So good end here. Lots of rocks in play. It's the first rock for Shelley.
T-line.
Looking for the T line
T-line top 4.
Line's nice, lot of room.
and a piece of the 4 foot.
T-line top 4.
Yep. Straight, Tricia.
T-line top
Yep,
4.
straight, Tricia.
T-line.
Yep, straight,
T-line
Tricia.
top
Hard,
4.
straight.
All you got,
It's
Ben,
looking
you gotta
pretty
go.
good.
Hard,
Yep.
hard, just a T.
Okay, that's
just
good.
a T.
Oh, really nice stone.
Yep, yep.
Gets just a piece of 4, a little bit under cover.
Well, she
That's-
could get a hit and roll here.
How much do you have?
Oh, she doesn't have a
Oh,
whole,
she doesn't have a much of the
she
rough,
doesn't have a
right?
whole bunch. That's a really nice
That's right.
shot. It wasn't much for her to draw to get second shot there. And she put it in there about as good as she could.
If I come off one of those. Yeah, but I'm saying if I clip one, just play that to that one, right? But I'll keep it like 9. I think a 9.5. I agree.
So Diane's throwing a little bit of weight at this one, trying to hold it a little bit straighter. I don't think she's going to try to stick around with the 9.5, just hit what she can see, probably roll out.
She does have an opportunity. She was talking about possibly hitting that top red one and rolling in. If she does that and knocks up against that yellow rock, she would be shot.
Yeah, she'd need a little tick off it. Throwing 9.5, that's
A lot of weight.
a little bit harder. I mean,
Now
if she
she's
hit,
saying 9.8, so she's getting
okay,
up to 10.
closer to 10. So if she hits what she can see, she could roll over to her own red stone even and be shot rocking behind all that cover. See how she does with this one.
Let her know it's good weight. Let her know it's good weight.
Yeah,
Let her know it's good weight.
she was positive with the release. They're asking
Got a
it to curl.
curl.
Looking for curl early.
Hard.
She may be a little firm. Got to get this to move to get a piece. And just a positive release and that firmer weight, and she didn't get the movement on it.
Be easier to open the ice up and just throw a 10. Look at that.
So Shelley with a free draw for 3. She did just throw that one there, but she can't come down to it. She has to be beside it.
I was just listening to Diane say that maybe she should have opened up the ice and thrown a 10. And actually, I would agree with that. I think that we saw people playing with 10s and you can control the rock a little bit more, make it curl.
And they did indicate, you know, if they rubbed off the red with a 9, you're probably not sticking around rubbing that red. If you throw a little softer, you had a little more option to come off those reds up high, maybe even get into the shot rock on the right-hand side of the sheet. So here comes your draw for 3.
Needs to curl. Oh, just away.
PEI sitting 2. Shelley Bradley drawing for her 3rd point. Needs a piece of the 4-foot.
Okay.
Now they're hoping for it to stop.
Oh.
And it slides just a hair too far. So I don't think they're going to have to measure those two. Looks like 2 yellow for PEI, and we have ourselves a all squared up match between PEI and BC ladies. 2-2. We'll be back in a bit.
You make moments like these possible.
From cash spiels to Grand Slams, club competitions to world championships, there's a lot to keep up with on the pebbled ice. Stay up to date with the Hardline Curling Show, your weekly source for everything curling, with the latest event results, breaking news, interviews with players, executives, and insiders, plus behind-the-scenes access you won't get anywhere else. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you don't miss a thing.
Welcome back to the Everest Senior Curling Championships here in Moncton, New Brunswick. We have on our feature sheet the BC and PEI ladies, all tied up at 2 apiece, going into the 3rd end with BC having the hammer. The first rock for PEI curled just off the center line. Both skips were having a look at it, and they agreed that it is not on the center line, so it can be moved around but not removed from the free guard zone for the first 5 rocks. And we had BC trying to come around, buried in the top 4, but a little bit open and a little bit behind the tee, so PEI just trying to freeze one down in there. And looks like we could have some play into the center for this end, Penny.
That's right, and with Diane Gushalak is back with hammered. So she's okay with that shot. That guard is also, it's pretty high. It's not tight to the house, so easy to come around on this ice.
Yeah, it's at the top of the Everest mountain.
It's top of the Everest.
So.
Yep, right to it.
Lots of late swinging here.
Right to it.
They keep it going, and it's got nice finish.
That's a great shot.
Good, good throw, Julie.
Right on top of the Everest mountain on the button.
Just throw like backy line.
Okay. 2 feet more.
PEI is doing that. If you start playing into the middle at this point of the game, at the very of the end, you're playing for a 1 point. Somebody's going to score a point. The ideal would be to sprinkle your rocks out to the sides a little more, and maybe those rocks will count.
Yeah,
keep the middle open.
Scoring area is like right around the button right now. You're reducing your chances by keeping it in there. So they're gonna, one team's gonna want to move them around, and the other one's okay with kind of cramming everything in and around the button area here.
Sorry. Tell her it's my fault. Okay. Too much ice.
Eventually, Diane's going to want to rip that guard off, I would think, and just open it up. She's got 2 rocks now at the back of the house. Be nice if you had a, an open draw for your 3. Go for 2, and the 3 will come, right?
That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to enforce that on my my teammates.
Will they listen?
Probably not.
Just away.
A lot of line. A lot of line. A lot
Just
of
away.
line.
It's a pretty good position here for
Way out there.
PEI, having
Yeah.
shot rock
Keep coming right
on the
there.
button
We can't
with a
come back
good
here.
enough guard on the center. They can put another guard on the
Okay,
outside
first
here.
you can, though.
A little bit of separation between them, but they're coming right in here.
Yep. Yep.
Probably wants to come back a bit
Yep.
because it
Okay.
didn't
Don't-
get the curl.
And if they were side by side, you'd have the double, one of them, a jam possibility.
There goes the guard.
Yeah. Diane wants to bring the play into the house now. A couple yellows around the button, so
Right at it.
they're not trying to keep this one around for a corner guard at all. She's just calling for the peel.
All the way.
Yep. Roll it, Court.
Right to it. Nice throw.
Looks like a nice throw.
Good peel.
You threw
Yep.
that good, Corey. I should have tightened you up so if you caught, if you got the guard because it wasn't on the line.
And you'll notice there's no dividers on the sheets here, so you'll notice a lot of participants running after the rocks, so they try to keep them from the other sheets.
I know you're not used to that in Alberta, but we do have a few clubs in BC, including my club, I think. Vernon has no boards.
We do have some in the Edmonton area. Majority are with the board, so. I know with the stick curling and a lot of people that now have that 6-second hit back in their hip pocket, and there can be rocks flying all over. So
No, there. Is that
not
them
sure
up
if
there? Oh,
the
yeah.
trend is to go with more boards or less boards.
Well, we actually
there
had
we
it
go.
in
Yeah, no,
Parksville
it's,
for a while where there was no boards, and exactly that happened. There's so many stick
We
leagues,
don't have enough of it
and
as
those
it
guys
is.
can really throw it. So there's rocks flying everywhere, and so we ended up putting just from the back line to the hog
Half-boards.
line. Yeah,
Right, just kind of halfway, and just
Some-
try to keep some of them from going to another sheet.
bank boards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, line should be good.
Okay, so we have PEI trying to put some cover on here, I think.
Yeah, Julie, all the way.
Probably
Julie,
wanting to
get
guard
off.
the right rock. It is a little bit higher.
Okay.
It's the one that's
Yeah, Julie. Yeah.
it's
Looks
first
like it has to
kind of
curl
double.
quite a bit.
Yeah, she's trying to make a carve over there.
Whoa, whoa, that's good. Whoa.
Slides past the Everest logo. Splits the
pretty
center
good.
line right in the middle of those two rocks.
Trying to run that. Same weight. Hit first.
Same way?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got
You
it
see
right at it.
Diane trying to line up the straight back over the high side of the back one and get the double. But
Yep.
first things first,
Hard.
take the peel.
Hard, Grace. Yeah, going.
Really hard, Grace.
Other one.
Right
Trying
to
to hold
it.
this off the line.
Pretty good shot. Well, she left the guard, but
Left the guard, left the one on the button, but did roll that yellow far enough. Not sure who's sitting second shot. They look pretty close. It might still be yellow. Nobody was sweeping that one out there, so we'll see
Right.
if that comes into play.
could have been sweeping that yellow rock.
Probably only needed an inch or two more.
Line's tight. Just wait.
So EI trying to come around the center guard. Once again, little Christmas tree. And then so you see a piece of each one, but not enough to make a double and not enough to stick right there. So the line is looking really good. Might have overcurled it a bit much, but now they got three that are all really close to the same depth. Or
Looks like
distance-
3 from here.
distance from the button, yeah.
Try running that on nose.
Yep, I'm a betting guy. I'm thinking it's 3 yellow right now.
I like this call.
Return.
She needs to try and open this up.
Nice and crisp.
And there is a potential to run this back, maybe get a couple of yellows moving, and maybe even stick your red in the rings here.
Pretty close. Yep. Yep.
They're close on this.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Corey.
You come up a little bit. make some contact. Just missed the shot stone.
Yeah, she did.
A little bit unlucky that they got their own out on the side, as that was very close to getting all the yellows going here.
Lots of granite moving.
Yeah, move that guard off the center line a little bit, leaving the one side of the ice open. So we'll see if she tries to keep that open for the rest of the end and maybe give herself one side of the sheet to draw to bail out.
Yeah, this looks like it. But we do know this spot from earlier. When it starts to go, it goes hard.
Yeah, weight comes down and it just starts cutting across
Depends
the
on
sheet.
her weight here.
This looks really good. And if we could just stop in the top four, which it does.
Really nice shot by Susan McInnes.
Buried around.
I think they might follow it down.
Yeah, a little bit of a pocket here.
You guys like a 14-8?
I like 14.
Taking a look at the ice they're taking out here. They're into the 12-foot here to get across the center line into the either one of those yellow
That
ones.
does look like a lot of ice compared to what we've seen, right?
Okay, line's good. Where are you? 7's
Line's
good. Let it work. No, stay on it.
Like the line?
Hard line.
Yep.
Hard line. Hard.
And it's starting to go.
The weight's coming down off of this one.
Hard all the way in.
Not sure the ladies can drag it all the way there.
Hard. Good speed. Keep it.
So just a little light. The line was really good.
Yeah. Did you get a time on that?
No, I did not. But that provides a really nice guard actually for PEI because it is buried around that red, and I don't think they can promote that one.
You want there? Kelly, I think we should play here.
So they're changing the shot a little. They may have discussed this before she went down. Now they're going with just a tight guard, making Diane have to go a little wider for her draw.
This is Shelley's first rock. Shelley's originally from, she was born in Dalhousie, New Brunswick. So she's from New Brunswick and has been inducted, two-time inductee, Dalhousie, New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame as a player and a team.
Line's fine.
Well, she's
No,
probably working on getting inducted into the PEI one as well now.
Well, I would think so.
That's good.
So pretty good guard.
Even if I come in enough.
Fighting some of the center line.
She does have an opportunity to come around that, though.
That was a 54. So
Yep, that will give her all the button to be buried.
45. Let's go even more. On this side?
She makes this really good.
This side?
I think we'll see maybe Shelley just try to cap off the outside and concede the one. But we'll see if she can get it right on the Everest logo on the button there. So taking ice well out into the 12-foot here. They are getting some good finish.
Deep breath right out there.
Diane's rock might run a little bit straighter than what Grace's does.
We'll see how the communication is with the front end. See if they can get the break point on this curl and put it in the button just perfectly.
Lots of room. Line's good.
Line's 7.
So the sweepers are calling T-line, 7.
It's pretty good then.
8.
7/8. Now we're
Now we're
back
going
button.
deep.
Now we're going back button.
Watch the line on this yellow duck.
And the weight does come down. It's coming in there.
Great shot by Diane.
Right covering the logo. And kind of frozen on the yellow, so I don't think she's going to try to remove this one. She's just going to cozy up to it.
Shrink her house.
If she puts a half rock freeze on this one, there's no draw opportunity left for a deuce. So this is more just a force. Single for BC.
Last rock for PEI, Shelley Bradley.
Just trying to take away the outside draw.
She's got to come a long ways. She must be a little heavy.
And it's staying out in the fresher stuff, and it seems to be gliding a little better than stuff that's coming into the middle.
Yeah, take it right back. Yep.
So now they're sweeping it deep, not to give her some backing. So it is far enough that if she comes down to it.
Okay, well, give me where you think I came out. And I'll same shot pretty much. And I'm going to throw close save.
Yep, so Diane gets a do-over. She can throw the exact same shot. She can get her deuce.
Right.
So PEI kind of let him off the hook there. You didn't need to be in the house. You know, anything that's taken away, this button draw, anything on the right-hand side, would have maybe left her that double red tap. Very difficult shot. This being one that she just played, so it should be a little easier.
Where Corey thought I came out. Okay, awesome.
Let's see if the sweepers can plant another one right down there on the button. As a skip, having to throw the exact same shot 2 times over.
You like that when you get that chance?
Yeah. Looks like she may have started this one a little bit tighter, but they're not panicking on the line.
Line's fine.
14-9 on this one. Need a little scrub, but it looks pretty good.
Oh, I think you're just fine.
Yep, any more would have been a waste. Perfect. Draw in there. 2 skippers. Skipper's deuce. 2 on the button.
That's right.
2 points for the BC team. And they now take a 4-2 lead over PEI. And we'll be back with 4th end action.
I love that curling is a team sport, that we're able to travel the world with friends and family and experience the journey with fans as well. The sport demands so much, whether it's fine motor skills or both physically and mentally taxing. And it's just a fun social sport that you're able to kind of make an extended family all over the world.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
It takes passion and a whole lot of dedication to meet Cavendish Farms' high standards. To become an epic late-night snack. Part of the ultimate breakfast. And the dinner crew crowd pleaser. From Canada's favorite French fries to onion rings, hash browns, and potato tots, Canadians can count on Cavendish Farms to serve top quality every time. Cavendish Farms. Made our way, enjoy your way.
And welcome back to the Everest Senior Curling Championships. Our feature game, BC and PEI ladies into the 4th end with teams trading deuces so far. And we're going to see if PEI can get their second deuce and tie this game back up. I'm going to go across some of the sheets here and update you with some other curling action. On sheet A, we have Nova Scotia over Yukon men's, or sorry, it's 1-1 tie now in that game with Yukon having the hammer. On sheet 2, we have Northern Ontario and Prince Edward Island men. And Northern Ontario scoring a deuce in the 3rd, now lead 3-1. PEI having the hammer. On our sheet 3, We have some ladies action, Newfoundland and Manitoba. And Newfoundland just stole a deuce, so they are now up 3-2 on Manitoba.
Right in here.
And what do we have happening on the other side?
On the other side, we're a split facility here, so there's 4 sheets on the other side, and Manitoba and Newfoundland are playing, or pardon me, Manitoba and BC are playing Dangerfield, and Dangerfield got 4 in the first end, 4 in the second end, stole 4, so he's up 8-1 against Neufeld from Manitoba.
Treasures Rock, if you need to see.
Sheet F was New Brunswick, Kennedy, playing Quebec, Desjardins, and Kennedy is winning 3-0. They got 1 in the first and stole the second and third as well.
Shelly, straight.
And Sheet G, Northwest Territories, Cormier is playing the Yukon Forte, and they are 4-2 for Northwest Territories.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to see. They stole 2 in the third end. On final sheet, Sheet H, Quebec women Waddell are playing Northern Ontario Pop, and the score is 3-2 for Quebec. And that's your update.
All right, well, looking at the other side, there are a lot of stealing going on. Everybody better hide their wallets over there. Back to our feature game here. We have PEI trying to get a deuce. They got their corner. We got a center guard, and we have BC coming around that one. But we do have PEI with Shotstone in behind the corner guard.
I don't mind coming to this.
And just to remind all you folks that if you want to check out any of the other scores or standings, you can go to curling.ca/scoreboard.
I wouldn't mind moving it.
And also, if you want to find out what events are upcoming and get some tickets, you can go to curling.ca/tickets. Next big event being the Canadian Mixed Doubles Olympic Trials.
Just back, eh?
And that is December 30th to January 4th in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. And IKS Media will be providing the streaming coverage. We do also have some streaming coverage happening on our sheet 2 and 3 here, as well as our feature game that we're covering. So you can check out more action there if you'd like.
Where are we? 8-9. Okay. Coming there now. Yeah, Julia Little.
The winners of this championship will go on to Fredericton, New Brunswick for the Worlds. And you're very familiar with the Worlds, playing in 2 of them and winning. But yours were in a little bit Switzerland and Sweden.
We got to go across the pond both times. Yes, we had some nice trips over there. Lots of good times and lots of good memories. We were fortunate enough to bring home the gold. So yeah, I'm sure the 2 teams that come out of this event represent Canada do quite well there.
And Fredericton always puts on a great event. They hosted the Everest a few years ago. I think we were both at it.
Yeah, and they'll have home field advantage, so they'll have lots of fans, so should be a good one.
It's trying, but we've still got a long way to go.
So just a touch heavy on this one. Chops and rolls off, but a little difficult to hit and roll under on this one. They're pretty even. So Susan is electing to hit and roll outward on this one. It will still leave BC the same shot opportunity to come around that tight guard in the house and freeze on it.
Okay. Shelly.
So just trying to hit and roll a little bit away.
Shelly hard.
Hold the rings.
Shelly.
Trying to get this
staying
one
there a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to pop it out a bit.
Come on, hurt. Getting closer. Hurt. Okay.
Well, she did put it in a spot to make that yellow a little tougher to remove, but the angle coming from this side for Diane's teammate here is still going to leave them a chance to get that out of there.
Yeah, just put it on there.
Looking for just the freeze. Doesn't need to touch anything in behind the tee line here. A little short is better than a little heavy and chip and rolling off.
Yeah, keep it
correct.
out there. Keep for T. Yeah, line. Keep it out there. Yes. Line, Corey. Hard. Hard. Where are you? Yeah, hard. You got to go.
Grace McInnes looking for the top of the button here. They got to go hard to get her by their own red, and they do. And she's got the top of that button.
Nice shot, Grace.
Great shot. All three of those reds are perfectly in a line.
Want to peel? 10? Yeah. Other peel or you just have it? Yeah, whatever works. I don't mind taking the front.
Well, you just heard there's a couple of opportunities here, I guess different strategies. They elected to try to open up the top to be able to get to that red stone on one of the future shots, as opposed to trying to come around and freeze their little top.
Oh, they're the wrong color.
Oh, yes.
They're the wrong color.
We have a red stone coming that should be yellow, so they'll have to fix those up after this one stops.
I was like, something's wrong with this one I'm throwing. Yeah.
But she did
replace that red.
But she did get rid of those two reds and left the guard, so they'll just change that red rock, put the yellow one that should have been thrown down there.
Yeah, I was kind of confused myself.
So they'll reuse that red one. And no harm done.
No, and it gave the opportunity for Grace down there, and I heard Grace and the sweepers discussing her next shot. Give her a couple extra seconds to set in the hack and
They were in
get ready for
maintenance time out there.
Grace and Diane have played a long time together. They really know each other and are really good friends. And we know that's important in curling.
Okay, line's good.
Yep, so Grace just trying to put some cover on her shot stone here. And if
Have a look.
Shelley was trying to clear the front on her last one, I'm going to think she's going to try to do it again with this one. This guard looks like it's going to come in pretty good. Trying to get it to the center.
Keep it going.
We'll curl a lot at the end.
Pulls up the hole, they got to keep her going.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
A little more. There you go.
Ah, they left a little bit of a port, but you're going to need to throw some weight to get through there.
Oh, we saw this shot last game a few times,
Lots of room.
right?
Yeah. So we could see a lot of rocks flying around here. We'll see what happens when all the smoke clears. Trying to hit and stay with this one with a lot of weight. I don't think she can see all of it, so.
Oh, she might be a little bit tight.
She's trying to hold the line. She's doing a good job right now. Weight's coming down. It's curling up. She get her by. She gets her by, and she gets the nose.
Oh.
Great shot. Look at the leave on that, the angle.
But I do believe it could be red as shot.
Yeah, I think they're guarding that hole. Doesn't matter if they're shot or not here. That yellow-red tap back, I think could get by that back yellow. Definitely looks red on our screen, so.
What?
And Diane is talking about just guarding up that hole.
Yeah.
She doesn't mind giving her one.
Still skips rocks to come. Right now that is a long yellow raise. That could be for a few if she could never make that. So yeah, it's got to be a little bit careful here, because if she does force her into playing that, the yellow raise back, it could be for 4. Yeah, right now she's just trying to fill the hole right in here. Maybe take away this little yellow raise later in the end. So going to try to come down and raise that one back in there.
They just came through.
Take that red out and count the rest of the one.
Okay, but not over center.
Okay.
Both sides are equally as little complicated, so it's right up, Di. Okay.
So got the broom well into the 12-foot. There is a high yellow guard that they'll be all over that to start with. And hoping with the right weight it'll come off.
Get right out there.
And then not over curl anything over to the center line. So first rock for Diane Gushalak. Throwing up a guard. This looks like it's got a fair bit of weight here.
It's got good rotation on it.
Off that yellow.
Grease off the yellow.
Yeah. So now
Line it up.
Might take that yellow raise away.
they're doing a little bit of an audible. You want to try to
Walk off
just
that if you have to.
still fill a hole and not roll and leave a hole.
Well, I don't think there's a hole there,
Yeah.
but she does have that raise back that you were discussing, or that you showed us.
Yeah, I don't know if she's going to play that right now.
That run in.
Well, that's what I thought if we
So just a little bit off nose on that one. Trying to hit this one close to nose in there. Eliminate the red. And there could be a pile of yellows left behind here if she hits it just right. Big shot coming up here. Shelley Bradley with her first stone. Playing a double raise takeout. Looks pretty close. They're going hard on it early. It's really close.
She threw it pretty
this
good.
looks really good.
Oh,
Got the kiss off the yellow, but did chip the back one out of play. Or not out of play, but far enough so that she is sitting 3. And the other good thing is that guard was almost on the nose, so now there's almost no hole there for Diane to come through. There is enough for a rock, but she made it tough on it. That was a very
Diane
nice
also
shot.
has a, I would say Diane has an out-turn draw coming around that front center red one.
Yeah.
And it'll come in there. And she could shrink the house, right? And force her to want.
But that's hard.
Yeah, and that, you know what? And that might be just as good a play, unless she's quite confident to get through the hole.
I don't know what we're playing here.
Oh,
Gotta clear this and that, right? Feel like 9-5?
so I think if she gets through this hole with the in
That's too
turn,
much. Slow, lass.
she can miss her rock in the top 4 foot and nose hit the shot stone,
9-5?
forcing Shelley Bradley to come through the same hole with the same shot.
It's a tough shot.
Clear the left
Yep.
and the right.
If she makes the hole, she should get nose hit it. She could roll under if she throws it wide enough.
Right at it, deep breath.
So she can get out of this end with a really good shot. Not a big opening. That was the good thing about the shot that Shelley just played, where she kept her shooter there to keep this hole tighter.
Really close.
So she's got a little bit of weight on this one. Trying to get it to curl.
Hard, Daniel.
May have thrown this a little hard wide.
Watch
She's
that
gonna wrap
side
that
one.
guard. So she did make it through the hole.
Well,
Did she throw?
That was a 9-8 hit that didn't move very much
Yeah, I would have.
for her.
I think 9-8 would probably be pretty good on that shot. So
Yeah, that ran pretty straight for her. Yeah, she has a good positive release on
She
that.
does.
She didn't get it to any curl on that one. So now we have an open draw
for 4.
for 4. Pretty much anything in the 8 foot or better.
Let's just see how this rock moves, because this was Diane's other option, was to come down and
And come
come
around everything
here
and
and
start.
try and shrink her house. And Diane made 2 perfect out-turn draws last end for her too.
Right.
Skipper's deuce.
Start reducing the size of the rings for this shot.
line's fine.
Sometimes it's just what you feel. You feel it.
Yeah, I think she felt comfortable getting through that hole.
Yeah.
I think she'd like to have that one over again, because it did run straight for her. She might tighten up her ice.
Yeah, it's all on, lots of room.
So we got a 14-4 on this one. I don't know if it's going to slow down. It's staying out in the good stuff, but she just needs 8 foot.
Good throw, Shelley.
Look at that. Right in the 4 foot as it comes down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yellow for PEI. So they now take a 6-4 lead after 4, and we'll be back for some fifth end action after this break.
so much to our family. Obviously, it's a big part of our life. Isabella always says that she wants to be an Olympic champion curler when she grows up, which just melts my heart. But it also has shown them that if you work hard, anything is possible. If I was to ask them if they wanted to chase a dream, they believe that anything is possible as long as they put the work in, and it's because of watching us on the ice.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it.
Come on up. Okay, well, what do you got? You got one, you got two, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
It takes passion and a whole lot of dedication to meet Cavendish Farms' high standards. To become an epic late-night snack. Part of the ultimate breakfast. And the dinner crew crowd pleaser. From Canada's favorite French fries to onion rings, hash browns, and potato tots, Canadians can count on Cavendish Farms to serve top quality every time. Cavendish Farms. Made our way, enjoy your way.
Obviously, you mentioned the success you've had this season. Is it about just continuing that as the season goes along? Or obviously, like you mentioned, you want to peak at the right time, but how do you sort of contrast getting hot at the right time?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we hope to do as veterans. I mean, playing your best game in, Sault Ste. Marie or Okotoks or Penticton isn't necessarily the goal. You want to be able to elevate your game at the Grand Slams and the Brier and provincial playdowns, so you can try to wear that maple leaf to go to the Worlds. And so I think, all four of us have good experience in doing that. I think we all know what's important to us and what gets us excited to play these days at those big events. And so I think that with the four guys we have on this team, I think we're going to be able to do that. And, it's about staying consistent and growing throughout the season. Get your confidence going, try to, iron out some kinks you may have as a team. But I think getting the best out of each other when it counts the most is what we're really looking forward to.
And welcome back to the Everest Senior Curling Championships. Here in Moncton, we are at the Curl Moncton Curling Club, formerly the Beau de Jour Curling Club.
Beau de Jour.
Okay, easy for you to say. Formerly, there was 3 curling clubs in the Moncton area.
The Beaver.
The Beaver and the MCA. And they have all combined to have the one complex here with 10 sheets of ice. We just had the event of the U21 mixed doubles, and they were utilizing all the sheets. There is actually 8 of the 10 sheets, and we are using 8 of the 10 sheets for this event as well. So the ice has been in here for a while. The ice makers have had a chance to figure everything out. We have the Curling Canada rocks here, so conditions are ideal for the players, and I expect to have lots of good shots being made. On our feature game here, BC PEI ladies, with hammer, they've been able to score at least a deuce, so PEI has the lead of 6-2, and BC looking to at least keep that trend going, so scoring a deuce or more here in the 5th end.
It's a close game. You were mentioning the U21 here. There's so many opportunities for young curlers nowadays. The U21, U18, U16, U25.
And college and
and mixed doubles and you name it, or not, So Diane Gushalak actually on this team, she's taken on the UBC Thunderbird Gold teams as part of the coaching staff. And that's just new in BC. And we're looking forward to all her expertise. There's nobody more passionate about the game. Diane is retired. She spends a lot of time curling, and she loves the game, even though when she started, she didn't like curling. She didn't want to curl. She was like a basketball player and a figure skater and all sorts of things. And her parents, her mom brought her into a league, and she loved it. And she's still going.
Well, she definitely seems to have found her comfort zone, and she's having a lot of success, sometimes later in life, and that's okay, because you can keep going from seniors to masters, and you can continue. You can't get down on the hack. You can pick up a stick.
That's right.
One of the fastest growing parts of our sport is the stick curling. They're quick games. You can play them in an hour. A couple players on the ice. I know that our club, the St. Albert Curling Club, I think we have the biggest stick league in Canada. Randy Olson does a great job there. There's now bond spills. I hear there's like a $10,000 cash stick spiel. So fast-growing sport, just like pickleball, which is utilizing some of this club when it's not used for curling.
And I guess they're going to take the ice out here and put the pickleball courts back in once this is complete.
I heard they offered some memberships for when the ice is out. The pickleballers can go to other clubs just for that time frame. So.
Well, to be honest, Dan, I've actually signed up for a stick league as well. I have some good friends in Kelowna, and Carrie Lynn Richard and Marion Radcliffe, and they took up stick curling a few years ago, and in their second year they won the Canadian Championship. And Marion and Carrie Lynn have done an excellent job of promoting stick curling, and they got myself and Jerry Richard in a bonspiel on July 1st, and so we tried it, and I actually really liked it. So now I'm in their stick league on Wednesday afternoons in Kelowna, and I love it. It's such a good game, and you know, doesn't take too long, and everybody has a good time.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I think you're 6 rocks. You throw your 6, you stay down at the one end, you have your other player at the other end.
Not really any sweeping. You sweep past the hog line, but
hog line in if you really feel like it.
Yeah.
But it is a fast-growing sport, a quick game, and you know what? It's not hard on your knees.
That's right. So I still do the other, but I like the stick, and I enjoy the people that I'm doing it with. And it is being played in Kelowna, which is Kelowna is hosting the Montana Brier this year, February 28th to March 9th.
Yeah, all the way.
Yep, that's
so come to Kelowna.
Right after this Scotties.
Jock does an amazing job at that curling club, and so I'm really looking forward to being part of that committee there.
All right, so getting back to our feature game here, we've got a pile of rocks in play here. We have BC with shot rock currently.
Or we can rip the front.
We have a lot of
What do you like?
PEI stones in the house and a center guard up.
It's pretty early to not feel something.
And you know what? Diane has those 2 yellow rocks and they're staggered. So what's that? Mickey Pendergast line? Use them or lose them. So
And-
Diane's in a good position to use them.
And it's funny, they're just deciding what they want to do. We're talking about use them, and now they're trying to lose them. Well, at least lose the high guard.
She's got the hammer here, so it might be nice to open up that 4-foot area a little bit.
Yeah, although she is shot now, those yellows are on top of hers.
Close, Corey. Close, Corey.
So just going for the straight peel here.
Clean.
And we'll see if PEI is content to just throw some guards on those ones for a while.
That's a good peel by Danielle. Danielle has 2 children, and they were participants in what's that? Canada's Race, or the TV show? You know, the Amazing Race Canada.
Yeah, Raising Race Canada. Wow.
I don't think they won it, but that's still a kind of a fun opportunity. She got to watch her kids go across Canada playing or participating in that.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
See some different spots.
Okay, we want a T-line. Trisha's rock. Trisha,
Okay, they're calling for a T-line here, so they did not
I think they're
want the guard up there. They're trying to get this around the 2. They're trying to get this around and deep enough over those 2 staggers, but it's going to come into those top 2.
Well, now they might be lined up a little bit.
Yeah, there's pretty hard to send anything back to move your red out here.
Like this turn. Just use that center line.
You know what I don't like about this? There's all those yellow rocks at the front of the house, right?
Well, and that's why she's trying to clear them off. At least a couple here. She can just miss the one on the top right, poke it over, and maybe leave a nice little angle freeze on the one that would be left.
Whoa, 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 needs to come up. Other shot, yes!
Okay, so they're talking about going for a plan B that they have discussed earlier.
Oh, she didn't catch that one. Okay. Throw.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so she can finish it at
Okay,
the end.
still have a couple yellows that can be promoted.
Do we need to move this?
She could actually get all the reds with this shot.
Yeah, a little bit across the face of it towards the center line side.
I need a little more.
She did call for a 10 hog-to-hog weight.
Well, the top yellow that she's going to be hitting is pretty tight to the yellow, so it's not going to have a lot of action coming off of it.
I think she threw that out a little bit.
Oh, yeah, this is going to hit the wrong side of that rock. And it might not have, because it's hitting it so skinny, it's not going to have any weight to move anything. So didn't really change much on that shot. And Shelly, she's going to try to do something similar on the other side and get rid of the 2 yellow rocks.
Is that a 10? Hair high. Is that a 10? 10.
She gets this a little hair high. She can roller shoot her underneath that corner guard.
Third's last rock. Grace McInnes. Grace's sister is their coach.
Clean, really close, yeah.
Another McInnes.
Another McInnes.
Okay, they're trying to hold this one out there. It's coming up on them. See if they're going to take the roll underneath. It does. It rolls wide, but doesn't go. Doesn't get the yellow out far enough.
Now I see a few red rocks hanging around.
Oh, double back the other way. So what was once a bunch of rocks on the center line made it end up being double, and
took a while to get there, but she got there, right? Just a few rocks ago, there was 3 yellows sitting up there.
And with a double here, there could be 3 yellows again. So a couple little missed opportunities by both teams there. We'll see if somebody can make a really good one here. And then the other skipper is probably going to be under the gun a little. Shelly Bradley looking for a little bit of a nose hit here. This one's out a little bit wide too. They're trying to get the double over the high side now.
Jeez, they missed that again.
Oh, they didn't get any of it.
She threw quite a bit of weight there.
What do you like here? This is
I think closer to the center it'll come in there. But when you're out closer to that 4-foot line, it stays a little straight, and especially with the weight.
She picked up the weight and a little bit of outward release, and it just continues to go outward, and she didn't even get any of that rock, so.
I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. It's called that. It's called try to open it.
What do you like on this one, Penny? You have shot rock, and
you're sitting one.
They have second behind you and deep in the back. You don't really want to come down and freeze that one in the back, because they can just continue to freeze you.
That's right.
You had back line down here. Doing great.
So maybe looking for a double tap by the looks of that ice.
Well, we got to move it a bit.
They could have tried an intern draw. They could try the intern draw around the side into here, leaving the jam on this one if they put it there.
Open up that back one.
Well, they're playing back line.
So
we're sitting one right now? We're sitting one, and that's second.
I don't know about back line. I don't know about that.
they're just trying to move that top rock to maybe give her the straight back on her red to the back one, but
No, just wanted to know what we were sitting. It's all good.
Also split. A little bit of a split. She'll have a lot of red rocks laying around.
Yes.
yeah, I mean, she could put a guard on her shot rock.
Go for your 2.
And get your deuce that way, right? So.
Trying to set something up.
Trying to get a little bit more. We'll see if it works out for her in the end.
Back 8!
So trying to split this top one off to expose that shot rock. And hopefully, I think they're hoping that maybe Shelly Bradley will make something for her, but weight come off this one pretty good. They did jiggle some things around. Still one BC.
Should do it, eh? So tighten the ice, and if she just throws the same weight, it will stay straight.
Nose hit, little on the outside. Double those 2 off. And she doesn't have to stay.
Sit right there, and she'll be sitting 3.
Yeah, if she rolls away, she'll leave the backing for a force of 1. But pretty hard to just make the double and stay right there. It's just edge on edge. You'd have to hit perfectly on the nose here.
Ideally, you'd want to just sit right there.
And that would
really put some pressure on Diane.
That would close up the draw hole.
That's going to curl. It's closer to center. There it goes.
Yeah. It over curls. It won't get to the shot stone.
So that will give Diane an opportunity for a draw for 2.
Draw for 2. Bite of the 4-foot, what she's looking for. Taking plenty of safe ice out there, because she only needs a piece of the 4-foot. She doesn't need to get all the way to the button. So looking for a
Have we gone out that far?
T-line weight. Well, maybe not with this turn.
No.
I think she's going to need out here for a weight.
Like that 40, 45? Yep. Over here? Yeah.
14 and a half. There's.
You got it. A little more curl on this side. Yeah. Sounds good. Okay. Deep breath right at it.
All right, sitting 1. Draw for 2 coming up here for Diane Gushalak. Okay, sweeper's just cleaning.
Gotta come up to this line here.
Got lots of room. Got lots of weight.
It's got to come up here.
Can't touch it.
Should come at the end.
Can't touch it.
Should be lots of finish. Sliding out in the good stuff. Needs to come down a little bit. Got a 14.8 on that one, and it's just a little bit heavy. Only a single point there for BC. They score 1 in the 5th, so it is now 6-5 PEI over BC, and we'll be right back with the 6th end.
means so much to our family. Obviously, it's a big part of our life. Isabella always says that she wants to be an Olympic champion curler when she grows up, which just melts my heart. But it also has shown them that if you work hard, anything is possible. If I was to ask them if they wanted to chase a dream, they believe that anything is possible as long as they put the work in, and it's because of watching us on the ice.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
It takes passion and a whole lot of dedication to meet Cavendish Farms' high standards. To become an epic late-night snack. Part of the ultimate breakfast. And the dinner crew crowd pleaser. From Canada's favorite French fries to onion rings, hash browns, and potato tots, Canadians can count on Cavendish Farms to serve top quality every time. Cavendish Farms. Made our way, enjoy your way.
And welcome back to the Everest Senior Curling Championships. We have our feature game of BC versus PEI ladies, where BC just scored a single and trails PEI 6-5 in the sixth end. Just going to run across some of the scores on some of our other sheets. On sheet 1, we have Nova Scotia and Yukon men's, and Nova Scotia leads that one 3-2, with Yukon having the hammer. On sheet 2, we have Northern Ontario versus PEI men's, and they're in the sixth end coming home, and it's all tied up 3-3 with PEI having the hammer. On sheet 3, we have Newfoundland versus Manitoba ladies, and we have a 5-4 score for Newfoundland, with Manitoba having the hammer.
Right, and on the other side of the wall, the pickleball court. Sheet E, BC has this game in hand, the men, Dangerfield. He is winning 9-2 now after 5 ends. Sheet F, New Brunswick, Kennedy playing Quebec, Desjardins. And Kennedy is up 5-1 after 5 ends, and Kennedy has the hammer there. Sheet G, Northwest Territories women, Cormier is playing Yukon, Horte, and the score is tight, 4-3. And Northwest Territories is winning that, and they have the hammer going into the fifth end. They might have played it. We haven't got an update there.
There it is.
Oh, we just got it. Okay, it's a tie game. And sheet H is Quebec ladies playing Waddell, playing Northern Ontario, Hop. And they're about to put the score up here. Right now it says 3-3 after 4. So it's a tight game.
If we get any more update on that one, we will let you know. If you are looking for any of those scores or the standings, you can go to curling.ca/scoreboard. And we are televising the game on sheet 4. But if you do want to check out any of the other action on sheet 2 or 3, you can go to TSN Plus or youtube.com/Curling Canada, and those games are being streamed over there. So back to our feature game here. We got a good game going here.
Yeah, we do, Dan.
Back and forth. Hammer has been key. Everybody has scored with the hammer.
And we have a lot of rocks in play here, Dan. What do you think BC is thinking for strategy? They're down 1 now, playing the 6th end in an 8-end game. What are they thinking?
Well, they definitely want to go for the steal or the force of 1. I don't think they're going to try to give the game away here and gamble as hard as they can. It is close still. A force of 1, you know, they can get their deuce back, and then it's the 1-end game.
And what about Shelley? What's she thinking here?
Well, she does have control, and she has the hammer, so she wants to play in the house. She's opening up the guard, and you know what? If ideally she can still get a 2, because BC will be going kind of hard to push them a little bit. So there will be some chances, but she's not going to be the one that needs to take the big chance here. She'd be fine with a blank. A force 1 isn't the end all. She would be up a deuce again. So
keep going.
They were trying to peel that guard, and unsuccessful.
This ice is very sensitive to release, so if you pop it out a little bit, it's not going to come back. You throw a nice clean rock at it, you're going to get action.
And you're seeing that on the hits that, you know,
are a little pumped up.
Yeah, and they don't get to the curl point. They just run down the sheet.
We did watch a couple of teams on this sheet that played a nice control weight, and really they got so much out of the rocks by doing that.
Right to it. Okay, play to that then.
So last rock for Danielle here. And Diane looking for a freeze in the red. It's got to swoop in here. Looking pretty good.
Right to it, right to it, right to it.
Sweeper's trying to drag it all the way up to that red one. So
Lock it on. Okay, good call.
got a lot of rocks in the 4-foot area there.
Got half of that?
So I had the chance to curl with Danielle last year when we won the Masters in Saguenay, Chicoutimi, Quebec. Danielle also is a great cook, and we were honored with her cooking. She cooked all our meals at the provincials.
Did you guys have a VBR or?
Yeah,
VBRO?
an Airbnb.
Airbnb?
Yeah, and she took it on, you know, and yeah, we looked forward to what was coming up next. She was always chopping something in the kitchen.
I've never had that opportunity to travel with a chef.
Well, you better talk to Danielle.
All right.
Shelly?
Okay, once again, try to peel the center guard.
Yeah, heard. Heard.
Not throwing a lot of weight at this one.
All the way. All the way.
A little more controllable, and she's going to have a nice peel.
Okay.
Rolls away, and a lot of congestion in the rings. PEI sitting one right now, but I think red is in better position with the red one frozen on top. Anything touching that one is going to eliminate that yellow. So
that is perfect for Diane Gushalak. That yellow rock is not a problem.
She is prepared to save that till the very last one. So trying to put some cover up right now.
Over and off, Corey. Hey.
It's got a curl.
These two teams like to have a lot of rocks in play.
Hard, hard, hard.
Looking for it to get right to the center line. Or a little bit over it.
Shoot, need to be over center. Okay. Nice weight.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Yeah, she guarded the one that would be raised back into that one. So we have Shelly down here, and she's going to want to have a timeout here and have a little conference with Susan. They're going to try to figure out what they want to do with the rest of this end here. So we'll see if we can listen into their conversation and see if they just want to peel guard, try to move some things around.
It's an option, corner freeze. What? We need to go something in play here.
She has to know that yellow rock's going to not be
try
there,
this, but
right?
we're going to lose that back red one. I think we need to go here.
Or I was thinking we could draw it here.
Good. Yeah.
Don't mind doing that with your first one. Even a little tap. Once you tap.
Yeah.
No, I don't mind that tap.
Yeah, jiggle those reds, maybe even get it off of that yellow. Stay frozen with your yellow on top of that red. I kind of like that call the best. Yeah, tap up that yellow.
I think I like it better than the out-turn draw.
They can just tap the yellow up here, move the red over here a little bit. This one will come off of there and rest on that one. Keeps you with 3 of your yellow rocks in the rings and a potential of a big end if something happens.
I agree, Dan.
Still got 3 rocks.
Yeah, they want to unlock it. I don't like guarding and hoping for the next 3 rocks that they don't get to that one because it would be gone.
This is first rock as well.
Yeah, so still some rocks to come. There was 1 rock in the end left. You might look at throwing up the guard.
Depends whether you.
She does have the hammer.
That's why we need to have it like right in the crack.
And sitting one, but a nervous one.
Yeah, I don't think that's really sitting one, right? Not for long.
Yeah.
Too many ways to remove it.
With this, or
I think I like the tap. This is my first rock, right? Yeah. Okay.
So they were listening on our conversation, and they have elected to play the tap from up here. They got
I think Shelley called that shot.
Yeah.
That's right. I was actually listening to her.
There, they're throwing tee line. Okay.
So a delicate little shot here. If you can get things lined up really good, then, you know, a little bit of trouble for BC for the rest of this end.
And we have seen in previous ends where it's gone back and forth a few times. So
yeah, so I think advantage to whoever makes their great shot first.
By the time we hit it. So I think I got
Because there are some things that can go wrong.
We want to bump this as if it was going to hit the tee line.
So you're going to need some good communication here, because you're going to need line and weight with needing some precision here. So here comes Susan's tap attempt. They're holding it out for now, but with that quiet weight, it's going to start coming up on him.
Starting to come now.
Yep, sweeper's still holding it out there.
The weight looks really good.
Yeah, maybe a little bit soft. And it finished up at the end, just a little bit quiet on the weight. So they got a rock in a little bit of a guard position. Diane is going to want to, I don't know if she's going to want to move it on this rock here. There's still 3 rocks to come.
Well, it might be time. You can tap it back, right?
Tap, tap, tap.
Tap, 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 tap. No, I don't.
Is that 11, Di?
11.
Pardon? 11? Bumper, not 11.
Yeah. You got it.
Bumper weight, backboard weight. Just a nice, soft, easy. Just got to move a few rocks.
Little up.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Needs to curl.
Yeah, it needs to come up if they're going to try to get this one straight back.
Might have just popped that out a bit.
Yeah, this one might be coming into the Yellowstones, but doesn't look like anything's going to come back into those ones in the forefoot. So moved a few things around. Kind of disturbed the very top 2.
Okay.
Put another one on top of it.
I don't know. Here? Okay. Or you could tap.
Dan, could you hit the inside of that yellow one? And would it roll up?
And you would take that, yeah, that one. That's the one I like. If looking from our angle right now, there's enough room to get by here and scoot in there and get this red off of that one, because that's your danger rock for the rest of the end. So here comes a shot from Susan McInnes.
Might need it.
That looks like it's out there.
Might be last. Really out there. Really
Yeah, they didn't.
There. Yeah.
They didn't throw much weight to this one. They'll be lucky to get it
for weight.
They're going to be lucky to get it right in there. Gotta go hard. Now just trying to get it in there so maybe they can utilize it later.
You would need a little more there, but.
Yeah, they didn't play the shot that we were playing.
Nope, they actually guarded it.
Yeah, and once again now, Diane she can hit a half of this rock, because anything that goes in that red one, that yellow one is gonna make it leave the rings if she can touch a good piece of it.
And I think this is a pretty hard shot to miss.
Yeah, that red in the middle is gonna be sticking around there. She's trying to raise this one back into this, eliminate this one. If she does hit the outside of this one, it will scoot over a little bit this way, and she has a catcher. So good chance for red to be laying a couple after this shot.
For sure.
And she has some, that rock is pretty big, because she can hit a half.
That's right.
And still make this. Hit a quarter, still make it.
Make it. Right.
Hit most of it, still make it.
Yeah. Hard to miss.
And so she's got some of it. It's just a matter of how much they want to get now.
And she's got really good weight.
Yeah.
Nice control.
Yeah, gonna hit.
Oh,
really coming up on her. But as we mentioned, she's gonna get enough of it. And sitting 3. So hit hit it a little bit more, I think, on the nose than she wanted to, but it was enough weight moving all that granite to get that yellow out of the forefoot. Sitting 3 reds. Still a couple rocks to come here for PEI.
She could hit that red one straight
We'll hit that right
onto the
one,
yellow.
Okay, let's try it. Yeah,
Try to open
second.
something up anyway, right?
Just listening to
Are
see.
we better off to do this?
But we want to use
Push
one
that
now.
out?
With what kind of weight though?
Yeah, we got to get rid of something here, I think. Try to give you a shot.
I just can't, I don't want to jam up the back, but.
This is going to hit this. Should go over here.
Okay. All right, let's try to open it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't open it up, you might not have a shot with your last one.
Yeah, she's going to want to clear something off on the left-hand side. I think they're trying to run this one back into kind of the pocket, get this one out of there, this one off to the side, and maybe even have enough to get this one and push this one out the side there. So, not sure how hard she can throw it. She's going to want a lot of weight on this one.
And I think she called for peel weight.
So,
should run pretty straight.
yeah, you can see the broom is on the inside of the rock already, so probably just wanted this thing to curl up maybe an inch or two only. So she looked nice and steady on her delivery. This looks really good coming down. It is coming up a little bit. Suker's just trying to hold it. Got to get it by that top red. You do, but it just jams the outside one. So that much on the other side of the rock would have been a little better.
We'll figure that out.
I think it's red.
Yeah,
I think red's still sitting 3.
Yeah, and it didn't really open up much on that side there. So just a little bit tight on that one. And she did get some curl even with that weight.
Is it?
That one, no, because it's not going to hurt us. That
Well,
one,
it could if she runs double, but then that rock should score.
yeah.
So I think the 3 on the 5. It only counts them now.
So looking pretty good right now for Dan Gushalak's team. Sitting 3 and throwing.
I don't see how she scores there, and I don't see how she scores there. Or you come into there.
We have to take that yellow away.
But I don't want to slide there. It doesn't have to be tight. She's running anything
if you
in.
sit it right here, but if we're center line.
What are you guarding though?
So up
Then
in
she
the
plays the
lower
wrap. No, I'm not going down. What if you go there?
To make them know they got to get moving.
Down. Quickly.
Do you want a timeout, or you guys?
Yeah, you can. Timeout.
All right, so it looks like BC is calling a timeout here.
They'll call their coach here, Allison.
Still steal 2.
Well, it's interesting. They were talking about guarding the double tap, but I think I heard Diane mention that even if they make that,
I don't think
they won't be able to score. That yellow, that red yellow going back is not lined up to get anything to count into the forefoot.
I think the only shot that she might have is that rock that was thrown out front, the one that's really out front there.
Can we go right? I would say.
I think
not in the rings, and just send that into it.
Yeah, I
that's
think
going to be her only shot.
I think PEI shot here is actually the out-turn draw around that one and maybe try to get a piece of that button. That run back is still only going to hit that high one, and you're still going to be giving up a steal. So right now, the only thing for her score.
Should we guard that? Yeah, I think.
No, there is also a really
yeah, that's
rare,
the one.
really rare off of that and into these.
And she
Out-turn
played
draw
a
around,
similar draw.
So she might be just guarding this side or guarding that one. I don't think there's
I don't think you have to worry
anything
about
left
that.
on this one because it just hits this on the nose and stays, and then these 2 reds would count.
Well, yeah, actually ran our clock instead of theirs. But it was only one shot too. That's what we were taking ends ago to put that corner guard there.
Okay, so it looks like they're
guarding that other
They're
shot.
guarding the angle raise for the potential one, and going to be leaving her. I'm going to guess the out-turn draw to possibly get one or count down the score, but neither one would be an easy shot left.
No.
They feel that this raise is the one that could create the most damage for them, I think, and are content to leave her that out-turn draw around. So they do want to guard a little bit of the outside of this
Weight's the same.
guard that would be raised in. They can leave the inside of it exposed. So wanting the guard over on this side so it can't be angled in that way. So this is all about line. The depth on it doesn't really matter as long as they can cover up some of that yellow on the one
This
side.
will start to come now.
Yeah, this looks like it should be fine. They don't want to line it up for him. You got to get
Curl it a bit.
Yeah, they got to get it to the other side, or at least cover the whole nose of it. And
That's a good shot.
I think that does the trick. There's not enough of that rock showing to chip it through that hole.
You think if I get to the
Yes.
inside of this,
I think we have to try it.
what kind of weight am I throwing?
Normal.
Do you think there's some kind of drag there? Is there?
Like
Well,
there's quite a bit of separation
you're going to
between
get
those two rocks.
Should go that way.
I actually think we need to be on this
Oh, they
side.
do.
Yeah.
Okay,
we
so
want to make sure this goes out this. We don't jam it, right?
Okay.
I think the
Nose.
I think the nose is just going to roll
think
that
so
rock
too.
over this way here. If anything, you could try to get it a little bit to this side, but that's not going to move
that's
that one
tough.
out.
Come off of this, I think it just jams back there.
Yeah, either that or it just comes on here.
Okay.
So they didn't even discuss the out-turn draw
You're gonna need
there.
a hair more ice though.
Okay.
So
It looks good on your screen, but actually it looks harder when you look down there. But there is quite a bit of room.
well, you know, and I always say on these kind of shots, it's just you just got to hit that first rock in the right spot. Then everything else, if you have it all lined up, should just happen. But from our vantage point, I
Or is she happy just to give her 2
give up a steal of 2.
right now?
I mean,
Not 3.
and that's if you hit that red rock with any kind of weight, you would be just giving up the deuce here.
She's got some weight.
She does have a 1-point cushion to go with here, so
Yep. Hard.
making contact on the top one to try to send the red back onto the yellow, onto the red, but it does leave the 2 red stones in the forefoot. No measurement required there. So a big steal of 2 points for BC. They now take a 7-6 lead after 6 ends of action. We'll be back with 7-end action in a moment.
From cash spiels to grand slams, club competitions to world championships, there's a lot to keep up with on the pebbled ice. Stay up to date with the Hardline Curling Show, your weekly source for everything curling, with the latest event results, breaking news, interviews with players, executives, and insiders, plus behind-the-scenes access you won't get anywhere else. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you don't miss a thing.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
And welcome back once again to the Everest Senior Curling Championships. Our feature matchup between Prince Edward Island and British Columbia ladies. We just had BC steal a deuce in the 6th end to take a slight lead. 7-6 BC over PEI, who now have the hammer. Got a good match going here.
We do. There was a lot of rocks in play last end. Worked out well for BC.
Yeah, you know what? We talked about how PEI had shot rock, but was in a very nervous position, and it was only a matter of time that rock wasn't going to be there. And you know, PEI was trying to jiggle some things around. They just weren't able to do it. And BC made him pay later in the end when they did get that one out. And yeah, very tough shot for a score of 1. And they elected to play an easier shot to just give up the steal a deuce. Taking the hammer into the 7th end, down 1. Probably not a bad decision. Giving up 3 there.
Good shot, Corey.
BC is doing an excellent job of scoring 2. They're deuces, aren't they?
Yeah. So that was the first end that we had a steal happen and changed the game around. Now we got BC a little bit in the driver's seat. We got 2 center line guards up.
Line's really good.
And we'll see who gets the first one in behind into the top of the house here.
Just for weight. Line's good.
So I'm going to run across some of the other scores while this was on. Just quickly on sheet number 1, we have the men's Nova Scotia Yukon, and we have Nova Scotia up 6-3 in that one. On sheet 2, Northern Ontario against PEI men, and they're blocking my view, so I'm just going to go to what we have on our.
Well, it's
illustrator
5-5.
5-5 in that match. Oh, on the sheet 3 with Newfoundland and Manitoba ladies.
That's right.
But if I go to the men,
here we go.
We have 6-3 for Northern Ontario over PEI men on sheet 2.
Right, and on the other side, BC, their game has ended. They won 11-3 over Manitoba.
Still got room.
Quebec and New Brunswick, that's over. New Brunswick, hometown team, 8-1 against Quebec.
Very nice.
Sheet G, Northwest Territories and Yukon are tied 4-4. And I haven't got an update yet on that other sheet. Something's wrong with that score. I might have to go over there. So it's Quebec and Northern Ontario women.
So good battle up north happening. The Territories and Yukon at a 4-4 tie. And we got a good one going here. 7-6 BC.
Oh, she's got the back one.
She was trying to peel the top one off, and she got the one in the house.
Oh, one or the other.
Lefter's in the back, but still advantage BC being able to have the first chance to come in on top of the tee line around those 2 guards.
Oh, I have an update now. Northern Ontario took a 4 in the 7th end to go up 7-5 against Quebec women.
That's why it took so long. They had to count that high.
Right.
Okay, this is out a little bit of room for the come around attempt here. Waiting for it to snap in there. They're dragging it as far as they can.
Great sweep.
Okay, so I want to share a picture with you guys.
Look at that.
This is a picture of Diane Gushalak, the skip of the BC team, when she was a lot younger, but she looks exactly the same. So a good friend of hers, she curled out of Ontario, and Carrie Lee Grant was posting old pictures of their teams with the kilts. And anyways, Diane looked like she was having a great time there.
She's still having fun.
She is.
She's always smiling out there. Loves the game. And she's had a lot of success at the game too.
She
so
has.
That makes it a lot more fun too.
I don't know if she'll like it that I put that picture there, but
yeah, you might be able to take the smile off her face, but good picture. I don't think she'll mind.
No.
So a little bit of an advantage again here for BC. Having one in, double guard, and coming around it.
Line's good.
First, 3rd rocks for Grace here.
Lots of room.
Slow there.
She turned around pretty early on this one.
She did.
And the sweepers are walking behind it, so it seems to be coming down a little bit.
14.
You know, they didn't touch it at all, not even a clean.
And she knew it when it was released.
Yeah.
She just turned around and went, oh.
Just a few feet heavy.
Yeah.
But giving Shelley a chance to get a rock in around those as well. We're still we're first to 3rd rocks here. Susan McInnes trying to get around those guards.
Okay, we'll go then.
Doesn't need to come to the back ones. She can get this to bear around there.
I think I
top
need
four
to sweep it
and try to pile a couple in there.
Gotta be your line's nice. Line will come nice.
They're liking the line.
Line's good. Line's
It's not a line issue, it's the weight issue.
And they've been sweeping that right from the.
Yeah, and
look at that. It might have overswept it a bit.
They did. Yeah, you could hear them. That one would have been really good, right at the top of the button.
With no sweeping.
Right. And
an opportunity for Diane again to get one in the perfect position.
And everybody seems to be throwing in the same spot here, so they should have the line figured out pretty good. Grace McInnes trying to get one into the top button here around the guards.
Yeah, line's good. Right in.
Sweepers are liking it.
Good.
The line's looking good.
Hard, hard, hard. Keep it on their face.
So they're going to go right to it.
That's a nice shot.
Yep. But if you look at it, that pinhole is just exposed.
And she bumped it a little bit.
She moved it. So had she come up a little bit shorter on that one, she might have been able to stay for shot rock even if this shot is made here. But not a lot of scoring area going to be left in this end if they continue to just come to the button and the pinhole.
Which is exactly what Diane wants. She doesn't mind giving one this end.
Yeah, if they can get this one sandwiched in there.
Coming home. Force her to one.
So a little bit of a tougher shot here because they're going to want to bump this one a little bit to start.
More
maybe
weight.
Give you a little bit of separation.
It's hanging out there big time.
Maybe give you a chance to a little bigger scoring out there. Indicated this is a little bit on the wide side.
She thought that she had a little more weight. Seems to be coming down now.
Yep, Julie's
Yeah, well, she is
Okay, well, that's fine.
kind of would have been the good weight.
Might have got a little wide.
She'd have had tight line and been able to get over to that red one. So that doesn't stop Shelley from putting another one right in on top of that button.
Diane.
Diane. And if she makes this one,
she could have a good steal of two.
With skip rocks and that one in the very middle, the sandwich red one, it takes two to get that out of there. And there's nothing on the wide angles to come in for them. Okay, so they're giving it a 14-3, which is a little bit slower than what we've seen. A little bit more weight required. We'll see. You really don't want to be heavy on this one and chop off a roll either. This is even if you're light and you guard that and make it almost impossible to come in there, you still got the one that's pretty solid in there. You can make a really good steal here of two if you can put this right on top. We'll see how she does with it.
Tolerance is light.
Okay, they like the line, and they say the weight is close out of the hand. We'll see how they negotiate the rest.
4, so that's top of the house.
So it's coming down on them. I don't think she gave them a 14-3. No, that was like a guard weight shot, but
not terrible.
Better than deep. There is a lot of finish there, but I'm not sure you can get around it with that in-turn again that everybody's been throwing. So she's going to have to change up her shot a little bit here.
Play the out-turn.
Go to the outside.
Yeah, it was.
And there is good finish this way too. I don't think she has to get really tight to the guard here. Just
Dan, would you ever think about just peeling off those guards?
Come right to it.
2 rocks left.
Try to get the shot.
You know, you can open it up, but unless you're going to leave yourself two sides, you're not going to get that red rock out of the back button with opening the top.
And they would have a better opportunity to put one on top.
And Diane would just put another guard back up there. So this might be your only chance to get one in here.
That's right.
So here comes the top.
Shelley Bradley.
Draw to the button. This is why they get paid the big money. Skipper, hit the pin.
Uh-oh.
This is tracking out wide.
It's got a little bit too much weight.
Yeah, and hot. Yeah. I got a 14 on that one. It hangs on the guard. So just a little bit heavy. I think the curl was starting to come on that one.
Now she's really put herself in a
Yeah.
You obviously need more weight.
What has she got?
I mean, she does still have the outturn hold to get in there, but
It's pretty tough over there.
I think it can come around that yellow and still get to the pinhole.
It doesn't.
Tough shot.
Very tough. Like there's not a lot of room. So
We clear the guard.
I think Diane's taking away the in-turn, trying to come in right in here and see if she can sit two, and in hopes that maybe Shelley can get through that hole with the out-turn, and she'll be able to steal another couple and take control of this game going into the 8. So she came up light with her last one.
She's going a little further out, so she's in the nicer track.
Yeah, and the good stuff. And I'm calling 7, T-line out of the hand, but I think this is the good stuff out here. Yeah.
Can't touch it.
14 and a quarter.
You don't want to leave any doubles here.
And she just got out into that new, nice fresh ice, right?
Yeah. Yeah, didn't get the curl and didn't get the weight to come off it. It didn't change anything.
No.
Still a very tough shot coming up here. Not even sure if it's really there.
Try that, or we can try.
Yeah, her last shot was really not.
I mean,
that hurt her.
You can full bury around a rock in the house, probably, you know, maybe at the 8 foot, which is where that one is.
Off the other one. I don't think there's any runs or anything there with all the guards in play.
I don't know if this will hook in there.
No.
You know, you gotta
have to carve it in there. Pretty good. Diane's looking pretty good to another stolen
I think
point here.
steel one's locked up. This is really gonna have to carve in there after that guard. They're gonna give it a go though. Shelley Bradley's last rock, 7th end, needing a draw to the pin. It's out there.
Okay, go, Julie.
That's got a curl.
Yeah, go hard.
Yeah, they needed to have any chance. They needed to try to paper that guard.
Yeah, it's not getting there. It's not getting there. Sorry, just didn't
Yeah.
have the weight. Okay, 1 red.
Oh, I think it had the weight. Just a little too much. All right, so another steal of 1 for BC there. They've now got good control of this game, up to
coming home.
So we'll be back with what might be the final end, but it'll be the 8th end. See you in a bit.
Curling means so much to our family. Obviously, it's a big part of our life. Isabella always says that she wants to be an Olympic champion curler when she grows up, which just melts my heart. But it also has shown them that if you work hard, anything is possible. If I was to ask them if they wanted to chase a dream, they believe that anything is possible as long as they put the work in, and it's because of watching us on the ice.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
It takes passion and a whole lot of dedication to meet Cavendish Farms' high standards. To become an epic late-night snack. Part of the ultimate breakfast. And the dinner crew crowd pleaser. From Canada's favorite French fries to onion rings, hash browns, and potato tots, Canadians can count on Cavendish Farms to serve top quality every time. Cavendish Farms. Made our way, enjoy your way.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Everest Senior Curling Championship. We are following the action on Sheet D, BC and Prince Edward Island ladies. BC starting to take a little bit of control of this game with steals in 6 and 7. They have a 2-point lead coming home, but PEI does have the hammer, and multiple points have been able to be scored by both teams. So looking for a good finish to this one.
I find it interesting that PEI did get their corner guard up, and Diane has, she threw the guard, the center guard.
Yeah, 2-point lead, so maybe she's trying to steal the point here. And
she's got one on the back of the button, which isn't ideal, but I think I might have thrown that in. But it's worked for her up till now, so why not just keep going on what's working for you?
Yeah, a little bit of a surprise there, and even this one for PEI, they could have elected to go for a double guard or 2 corners.
She can't take that off. It's got to be put
and
back
that's the danger of that shot. So the last thing you wanted to do was put one in your corner. You know, anything a guard. She does need a multiple score here. So the teams will agree upon a spot.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have stepped in front of you. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, so both teams are okay with where that guard was.
What's your number?
I'm quickly going to run across some scores. Well, we have a little bit of time here. Nova Scotia, Yukon men's on sheet 1. We have Nova Scotia leading 6-5 with the hammer over there.
97.
And on sheet 2, that game is over. Northern Ontario men took down the Prince Edward Island men 8-3. On sheet 3, good game going there. Manitoba and Newfoundland ladies. We got Manitoba up 6-5, coming home in 8, but Newfoundland does have the hammer.
And the remaining 4 games, BC beat Manitoba 11-3. That game's over. New Brunswick, Kennedy beat Quebec 8-1. And Northwest Territories ladies are losing by 1.54 to the Yukon. And the last game, Quebec women playing Northern Ontario. Northern Ontario women got 4 in the 7th end, so they're up 7-5 coming home.
All right, so in the big Northern matchup on the ladies there on sheet G, they do have the hammer down one, so we might have some extra ends happening for the big grudge match up north. On our feature game here, we have a few Red Rocks in play, well guarded. Once again, Susan McInnes asking her team to come around that corner. They're really tight to that center guard again, but this one can be moved off that line because we're past 5 rocks.
She's got a few rocks in play now.
But they're unsuccessful to get around that corner, so good news for PEI. Rocks in play. Bad news, the ones in the house right now are red, and they belong to BC.
And Diane's putting up another guard to guard them.
So right now I see some angle raise possibilities later in the end for PEI, but those would be your tougher shots. Ideally like to just be able to draw something in there. Just want to let you viewers know that our next matchup, starting at 6 o'clock Atlantic time, we will have a classic men's match as our feature game, Ontario versus Northern Ontario. Always a good one.
Yep, that'll be a good game.
So we'll be covering that one later on today. We do have a full slate. We also have a couple other games that we will be streaming that you can catch during that draw. We'll also have the Newfoundland and Nova Scotia men's and the Ontario and BC ladies. So you can go to TSN Plus or youtube.com/Curling Canada, and you can watch any of the action on any of those 3 sheets. And we'll be giving you some play-by-play,
some updates,
and updates on the D event, a D match. So moving them around a little bit. Got some behind the tee line now.
Diane's throwing another guard.
She's
going for it.
She's just like, okay, this is going to be the last end. I'm going to try to steal one here or force you to one.
And she's up 2, so 1's not good enough.
Yeah.
It's running, it's tracking.
There's still lots of rocks to come, and rocks in play are a good thing for PEI right now. And Diane's just trying to make things difficult for them.
I think they're doing a good job of that.
Yeah, and I mean,
Shelley gets one in here though. You know, it's different. Like if she comes around that top 4 foot.
She's going to use that one in the house as a double guard. Now she's
she's going to peel.
She's changed gears, trying to open up this center line or the one side. So turn takeout here for
a little tight.
Susan McInnes. She does want to get rid of both of those and roll away. This one's cutting across. She might be into the top red guard. Onto one of her outside yellows and maybe spin it in the rings. Nope, not quite. But,
this one went in.
But got the other one in. All right, so got a little bit of a kicker in the rings behind a corner, but it is fourth shot. Third or fourth?
Fourth shot.
Fourth
You're
shot.
right.
So.
There's one at the back of the house there.
Yeah, so
Diane's
just going to pour another one in there, trying to get to the top four, half buried.
Looks really good.
I don't think she has to worry about that outside yellow with the three spread out in the house already.
She wants to be in front of the tee line tucked. Do not want to be deep.
No, this would open up, and it looks like the weight's there for sure.
Weight's good.
It's really cutting in there, and it's still gliding.
Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It is behind the tee line. And Shelley can come in and freeze that, but her scoring area is very small once again.
Yeah.
You know, if she makes this.
Diane has done a great job of shrinking her scoring area in the last few ends.
Not making it easy for her, yeah. Draw to the pin, draw to the button. You know, and even these shots here.
This is
it's
heavy.
a draw to the button. It's coming down. You can hear them say it needs to come down. This has got to stay in play.
Well, it's on top of that one. I don't know if it's going to do much, but.
Third shot, and those other ones are behind the guards, and it doesn't look like they're going to be playing to any of the ones that are there. So something on the top of the rings, or top house there would have been better than behind the tee line.
More?
Yeah, 14-2. It feels a little quicker here.
It feels quicker on the side.
Diane has a couple of minutes left on her time clock, which is sufficient time. We're on the last two of her rocks, but PEI only has 1:37. She's a little tight, but I think they have a timeout. Diane has used hers.
Yeah.
Or BC's used theirs.
So the game that started out with both of them playing pretty quick. They did end up using some time later on. They had lots of rocks in play.
This looks like it's got nice weight.
Yeah, and Diane, she can.
Nice
anything
curl.
on this line, choke it off. Prevent the outturn,
right
draw
there.
out of their back one. Yeah.
Oh.
Now we're getting into some angle raises. They're having to play these TV shots. They're taking them from the wide angle. Oh,
I think she's drawing.
She's
for
just
this
trying to set one up here now.
Yeah.
And then tough draw to get shot here. Gonna have to scrape by that top red. Have a curl in, get a piece of the button. And then I think we're just gonna see Diane just cap that off and then force Shelley to make an angle raise in there for her two, if she can make this one in there. So got to get this in there for at least second or third shot.
Make sure line's really good.
Line's looking good. They've switched the sweeping around.
Yeah, line's really good. Yep. Needs to curl. Yeah.
Yep, they're wanting it to curl. Line's looking really good here. It's all about the weight now. May have overswept it a hair.
Oh, well, that might be it.
Third shot. There is an angle raise on the outside to maybe get that double, but it's.
I'll come right in. I'll come right in.
It might lose that back one. Yeah, a little oversweep by the sweepers there. They wanted to leave that higher, if anything.
You bring your broom in front of the rock, Corey.
Yeah.
Last rock for Diane Gushalak. She's plugging it up. She's sitting two.
Deep breath.
Yeah, you can put this in a lot of places because the shot that Shelley Bradley's going to have on her last one is
a tough one.
Is not one that any skip likes to throw.
Maybe mow it.
I think it's a solid 6. Yeah, I think it's a 3.
Well, he might make them, but he might not like having to throw it.
Right.
So this is looking good. Taking off the outside. They come right down there. And I don't know if that blocked off that angle race from the left-hand side for one coming in here off of this side. Try to roll over there and maybe just scrape this one back.
They're looking at the other one.
The other one.
On the right. She's looking over there.
Okay, they didn't look at the other guy. This one. Warrior Deuce trying to get this one to come in here off this and into that, but I got a feeling this is going to grab this one if it does make it.
I think this one's better. Okay.
Well, they disagree with my strategy, so we'll see how they make out here. Tough shot either way. Trying to send this in there, needing the deuce. Last rock. Shelley Bradley, PEI.
Yeah.
He's throwing this with a lot of heat. Trying to hold it out there. It's coming up to the nose. Got the hit and roll in.
Good for one.
For the one.
Yeah.
Not sure the two was ever there from that angle,
Yeah,
but
I agree.
But close call.
Great game.
Great game by both teams. And we have our final score, BC 8, PEI 7. And we'll be back at 6 o'clock for our men's matchup, Ontario, Northern Ontario. Thanks for joining.
That's 6 o'clock Atlantic
time. All right. See you then.
See you later.
Bye for now.